let's talk about finding contractors or workers. I mean, let's face it. Some of these contractors will take you to the cleaners. They'll try to get rich off you, and they can spell a newbie or somebody that's just desperate from it's amazing the different bids and prices that you can get on some of these projects when you're trying to flip a house, and you have to get multiple bids, multiple jobs, but then what you do is once you get a guy that you think's pretty good on the next house you give a bid, he's double the amount, so he's going to make the money on you on another house. Usually the first time they work for you, they'll usually give you the best bid if you explain to them what you're doing and you bring them more business. But you need to have a few different contractors you're using if that's the route you want to go. You want to take the complete hands-off approach. I personally hired my own team of guys, and what it's been from is, I go to the work site, I do some work, I talk to the guys, I see what they're doing. You educate yourself, and a lot of the workers, they've seen how I am, and they end up wanting to work for me later. So once I go into a project, I do some of the work, they're like, man, who is that guy? And then they're like, oh, that's the patron, that's the guy who owns the house, and once they go and next thing I start getting calls from different people and workers, and they want to work for me. So I brought on some of the good workers, and I have my own crew of guys now, and they go to the projects. They know to be there between 8 and 9 o'clock. I'm open. I give them some freedom. Sometimes they don't come till 10, but then they work late, but they're always there. Which when you hire contractors, their guys don't show up. Their contractors don't pay their guys, so they don't show up the next day, and that's been the biggest problem. So instead of doing a schedule where I pay them a little bit when they first start, I pay the contractor a little bit 3 weeks in, what some people tell you to do, those main contractor guys don't pay their workers, so they don't show up. And then next thing you know, the crew just keeps getting smaller as it goes. So I'm like, what's going on? So I took that role with hiring people, and I pay them every Saturday. I go to the project on Saturday. Usually I do, I look around, see what's going on. Sometimes I do some of the work. I've been a lot more hands-off now since I got it started, because I do have a family. I do have a full-time job still, and I'm just growing my business, and it's growing at a huge pace. It's funny. I was talking to a friend the other day, and another guy shows up, and he said, oh, this other guy's a real estate guy. And I said, yeah. So I start talking to him, because I'm always interested to see what people are doing with real estate, and he tells me, oh, there's no money in it. There's too much competition in real estate. And I said, you know what? You keep thinking that. You do keep thinking that, because I'm making huge margins on my houses. You just have to know how to find the deals. But that's a whole nother topic that we can get into later.